You think she said maybe because she's interested, but you're wrong. She said maybe because you made it easy for her to walk away. You asked like you were asking for permission, like you were hoping she'd say yes instead of inviting her into something real. And that tiny shift from invitation to plea is why you keep getting ghosted, left on red, or stuck in friend territory. This isn't about her being cold, it's about what your words secretly said about you. Because when you say, "Do you wanna maybe grab coffee sometime? If you're free, no pressure," you're not sounding polite, you're sounding unsure. And women feel that. Not as judgment, but as information. Her brain hears, "He doesn't believe he's worth my time. If I say no, he'll disappear. If I say yes, he'll be grateful, not excited." And that kills attraction before it starts. And you're asking a woman out like this, "Do you want to maybe grab coffee sometime? If you're free, no pressure." Then you're a needy man. But if you apply what I explain in this video, you'll never sound needy again. So watch till the end. And in the comments, tell me, how many women have said maybe, but never actually went out with you? Let's dive into it. Let's be real. You've done this. We all have. You rehearsed the text. You deleted it 3 times. You sent it with your heart in your throat. And when she replied with a soft maybe, you told yourself at least she didn't say no. But deep down you knew. You felt the distance, the lack of spark, the quiet rejection wrapped in kindness. Here's the reality check. Women don't reject you because you asked. They pull back because your energy screamed, "I need you to say yes to feel okay." And that's not confidence, that's neediness. And it's invisible to you, but obvious to her. It's not your fault. You were never taught how to ask with calm certainty. You were taught to be nice, to not come on too strong, to shrink yourself so you don't scare her off. But here's what no one told you. Shrinking doesn't make you safe. It makes you forgettable. Real attraction isn't built on caution. It's built on clarity, on a man who knows his value and offers an experience, not a request. So how do you ask her out without sounding needy? It's not about the words you use. It's about the energy behind them. And that energy comes from one place: self-respect. Not arrogance, not performance, just the quiet, knowing that your time is valuable. And so is hers. When you ask from that place, your words change, your tone changes, even your silence changes. You don't say, "Are you free Saturday?" You say, "I'm grabbing coffee at that place on Elm Saturday at 3, come with me." Not a question, an invitation. And if she says no, you smile, you say, "No worries, next time." And you mean it. Because you're not betting your worth on her answer. This isn't manipulation, it's maturity. And women feel that difference instantly. And now we'll break down the exact phrases, the tone, the timing, and what she's really thinking in those seconds after you ask. But first, understand this. The man she can't ignore isn't the one who begs for a chance. He's the one who offers one and walks away if it's not mutual. And that starts with how you ask. Let's get practical, because knowing you shouldn't sound needy isn't enough. You need to know how to ask, word for word, energy for energy, so she feels drawn in, not pressured. Here are the 5 shifts that change everything. Shift 1. Stop asking questions. Start making statements. Weak. "Do you want to hang out sometime?" Strong. "Let's grab dinner Friday. I know a place you'll love." Why it works. Questions put the weight on her. Statements show you've already decided you're interested and you're inviting her to join you. A woman once told me, when he says let's, it feels like he sees a future with me, even if it's just one night. Shift 2. Drop the escape hatches. No more. If you're free, no pressure. Only if you want. These sound polite, but they scream insecurity. She hears, "I'm scared you'll say no, so I'm giving you an easy out." And that makes her doubt your conviction. Instead, say it clean. "I'd love for you to join me Saturday." Full stop. No safety net. That calm certainty, that's what she's scanning for. Shift 3. Anchor your plan in reality. Don't say, "We should get coffee sometime." Say, I'm at the cafe on 5th at 4 p.m. Thursday. Come sit with me. Specificity shows intention. Vagueness shows hesitation. Women notice this instantly. Because a man with a real life doesn't beg for scraps of her time. He offers a real moment in his world. Shift 4. Match your tone to your worth. Your voice matters more than your words. If you text it, keep it warm but grounded. No exclamation marks, no haha, no over-explaining. If you say it in person, look her in the eye, speak slow, smile like you mean it, not like you're hoping, a shaky voice, rushed words, or nervous laughter. That overrides even the best script. She's not listening to your words. She's feeling your energy. Shift 5. Give her space to respond without chasing. After you ask, stop talking. Let silence sit. If she says yes, great. Confirm details calmly. If she hesitates or says no, don't negotiate. Don't say, oh, okay, maybe another time, like a kicked dog. Just say, all right, I'll catch you around. And mean it. This is where most men lose. They panic in the silence. They over-apologize. They text again an hour later. So, did you think about it? That's neediness. And it erases everything you just built. But if you stay calm, even if she says no, she remembers how you handled it. Because here's what women really think. A man who can ask and walk away with his dignity intact, that's rare. And that's the man she'll think about later. These 5 shifts aren't tricks. They're reflections of your inner state. If you're grounded, your ask will be clear. If you're seeking, your ask will be shaky. So don't rehearse lines. Rehearse your self-respect. Because the right words only work when they come from the right place inside you. Now we've uncovered the 5 shifts. But here's what you need to understand. Only one of them actually works. And if you miss it, you'll keep sounding like you're begging, even with perfect words. So watch till the end. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Because we upload daily about female psychology, red flags, and how to date with real confidence. And in the comments, tell me, did you make this same shift mistake? Be real. Let's fix it together. Now, let's talk about the ache you carry. Because if you're watching this, you've been there. You built up the courage. You sent the text. You waited. And when she replied with a soft, maybe, or nothing at all, you didn't just feel rejected. You felt invisible. Like your effort meant nothing. Like you were too much and not enough. All at once. And you started wondering, am I broken? Am I unlovable? Do I just not know how to be wanted? Here's the truth you need to hear. You're not crazy, and you're not alone. Millions of good men feel this exact pain, not because they're unworthy, but because they've been taught to confuse kindness with weakness. You were told to be nice, to not come on too strong, to give her space. So you softened your voice, you dimmed your presence, you made yourself small, just to be safe. But safety doesn't create connection. Clarity does. And when you ask from a place of quiet certainty, not need, you stop begging for her attention and start offering your time as a gift. That's the shift. And yes, it hurts when she says no, but it hurts less when you know your worth wasn't on the line. Because here's what no one tells you. Her no isn't about your value. It's about her readiness, her timing, her own fears. But your neediness, that's on you. And the good news is, you can fix it. Not by changing who you are, but by remembering who you already are. The man who doesn't crumble when she's distant. The man who doesn't vanish when she's unsure. The man who asks and stands tall, no matter her answer. And when you live like that, something changes in her. Not because you played it cool, but because you showed her what real self-respect looks like. And she realizes she walked away from something rare. Maybe not today, but later, when she's with someone who chases, pleads, and shrinks himself for her approval. She'll remember you, the man who asked her out like he meant it, and walked away like he meant that too. And that's when regret creeps in. Not because you punished her with silence, but because your silence spoke louder than words ever could. It said, I respect myself too much to beg for a seat at your table. And that's the ultimate power move. Not revenge, not games, just peace. The kind that comes from knowing you are enough, whether she says yes or no. So stop measuring your worth through her reply. Start building a life so full, so grounded, that asking her out feels like sharing joy, not seeking salvation. Because the man she can't forget isn't the one who needed her, he's the one who chose himself and invited her to join him. You are not here to win her approval, you are here to honor your own courage. That's the truth you've been missing. Because every time you ask a woman out, you're not just inviting her, you're revealing who you are. Not through your words, but through your energy. If you're coming from lack, she feels it. If you're coming from wholeness, she feels that too. So stop rehearsing scripts. Start building a life that makes asking her out feel natural, not desperate. Go live fully, work with purpose, move your body, stand tall, speak clearly. When your life is full, your invitations aren't pleas, they're offerings. And that changes everything. You'll ask her out not because you're lonely, but because you genuinely think she'd enjoy that sunset walk, that new cafe, that concert. And if she says no, you'll keep living your life because it was already good without her. That's the quiet power no one teaches you. It's not about being alpha, it's about being anchored. And when you're anchored, your words carry weight, your silence carries respect, your presence carries peace. Women don't fall for perfection, they fall for a man who's at peace with himself, even in rejection. So if you've been ghosted, left on red, or stuck in maybe land, don't blame her. Ask yourself, was I inviting her or begging for proof I'm worthy? There's your answer. Now, go fix the foundation, not the facade. Stand like you belong in her world, because you do. Speak like your time matters, because it does. Ask like you mean it, and walk away like you mean that too. This isn't about getting more yeses, it's about becoming the kind of man whose no doesn't destroy him. And when you do that, you stop chasing, you start choosing. And the right woman won't just say yes, she'll feel lucky you asked. So your mission now isn't to sound confident, it's to be confident from the inside out. Work on your posture, not to impress, but because you've stopped carrying shame. Practice calm speech, not to charm, but because your mind is no longer racing with fear. Live with intention, not to attract her, but because your life is yours to build. This is your quiet revolution. And it starts with one decision. I will not confuse her answer with my worth. You are enough, right now. Not when she says yes, not when you get the date, but now, flawed, learning, standing. That's more than enough. Now I want you to pause. Think of the last time you asked a woman out. Really feel it. Now ask yourself, did I invite her? Or did I ask for permission? Your answer is your next step. Because the moment you stop needing her to say yes, you become impossible to ignore. Not through tricks, not through games, but through the raw, unshakable power of a man who finally chose himself. Final question for you. What's one way you've been asking women out that sounds more like a plea than an invitation? And how will you shift it starting today? You understand all of these 5 shifts and how it's work. But you need to understand this also. But before, like this video, subscribe it, and comment, what did you do mistake? And watch this video. 6 women you should never date. Avoid these red flags. Because if you don't know who to walk away from, your perfect ask won't matter. Go stand like you mean it.